Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the doxing of Officer Ben, the doxing of yours truly, me, myself, and I. I don't know how to cover this this topic. It's kind of a weird one, but I guess I'll start off by saying when you are a police officer and you go out on social media and you show your face and you put your personality out there for the world to see, there's a lot of people who have this deep-seated, ignorant hatred of police officers, and they're going to come out and attack you. I'm not the type of person that backs down from personal attacks. And when these people come at me, I usually respond in kind with a certain level of brutality, which just pisses them off further. And I believe what happened was I pissed off enough of these cop-hating weirdos that they sent my information to this guy known as That Dinesh Guy. That Dinesh Guy is someone on TikTok that has about 1.5 million followers, and he is somebody that I will call a social media terrorist. What he does is he finds people that he doesn't like or that he believes he doesn't like and puts all their personal information out there. I'm actually going to show you the video that he made about me today, and I'm going to directly address as many of the points that he makes as I can possibly remember. But the goal of somebody like him when he makes this kind of video is to try to turn the world against you, to get you to kind of cower in fear and hide from a public eye, to delete all your social media accounts and get you in trouble at work. Before we get too much further into it, I want to let you know that I'm not going to do any of those things, and I have not done any of those things, regardless of the nature of the attack that he has launched on me. Simply put, because I have not done any of the things that he's accusing me of doing, and I can prove it. But without getting too deep into my own explanation of things, let's watch that guy Dinesh as he doxes me and says some things about me. And then afterwards, I'm going to address the concerns that he raises in his video.
I came by this interesting Instagram account. And by interesting, I mean that it's run by a cop who shows his face, hides his name, and uses that page to try to show that not all cops are bad and show that, you know, that when they do their job, you know, they're helping people. But if that's your plan, why do you need to hide your identity? I mean, look at all the stuff you post. Come on. Bro. I'm willing to bet you follow yourself. There you are. I'll prove it. This is your wife. Here's a picture of the two of you together, and you'll see that her name here is hidden in the URL, but it says here, married to blank. Go ahead and click that, and it gives me your name, not your last name, but it's in the URL. Y'all were so quick to grab your first name, last name for that Facebook URL, never thinking it would bite you in the ass when you decide to be a racist cop later on. Here's more proof that it is you. This is you, right? Hello, officer of Columbus, Ohio.
Alrighty, so there is the video that Dinesh Guy made where he doxed me. And today I'm going to briefly address the points that he made in his video. The first one says, if you have nothing to hide, why hide your name and put your face out there on social media? Well, the reason being is there are a lot of weirdos in this world that have a deep-seated hatred for police officers for no logical reason. And when they find out that somebody is a police officer, they will attack that person simply because they know that that person is a police officer. This has happened to me many times. I use an assumed name when I'm on YouTube and Instagram and stuff because I want to try to prevent that as much as I possibly can. I don't want these cop-hating weirdos to show up at my door. That's the reason that I use a fictitious name. The other reason that I do that is because I would like to kind of create another level of division between myself and my employer by using an assumed name, because I want to make it crystal clear that when I am out here in the public sphere, I am speaking for myself and myself only, and that I am not speaking on behalf of my employer. These are reasons that I don't do things in uniform. I don't talk about my employer specifically, and I don't even use my real name. Let's see. Oh, he then goes to show my personal social media accounts, and he shows my wife and my wife's employer. The only reason that he did this was to try to intimidate me. And what he was really doing is encouraging his followers to send me and my wife messages on our personal accounts. And he was very successful at doing this. My wife and I both received multiple death threats due to this video coming out. I received probably thousands. My wife probably received a few hundred. He was very successful at putting that out there and making sure that we were contacted by his followers. Let's see. The next thing is, oh, he says that I'm a racist cop. I'll address that in a minute, but he brought up this article to prove that I am who I am, and he tried to use this to prove who it is that I work for. This article I want to address just briefly. This is an article that is used to dox me all the time. Every time my employer gets a complaint about me based on social media, this article is attached to it. The reason I find this kind of funny is because this is an article that was written about me doing something good for a citizen. Just without getting too long in the tooth on this one, this is a situation where in 2018, so well before I ever did anything on social media, I responded to a call. It was actually like a strong arm robbery. This young woman was walking home from an after-school function when she was jumped from behind from a group of 3 or 4 girls. She was at the time 13 or 14 years old. These girls jumped her from behind, called her names, beat her up, and took her headphones. When I responded to her house, I took down the information for the report, which included her birthday. The birthday that I wrote down for her was coming up in just a few days, right after my days off. So what I did was I took the report, filed everything like I was supposed to. Then when I was off duty, I went to the store and I bought her a new pair of Bluetooth headphones that were very similar to the ones that she had stolen from her. I wrote her a birthday card and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I saw that your birthday was coming up and I didn't want this to ruin your birthday. So here is a small gift from me." I did this off duty, out of uniform, and the family asked if I would pose for a picture with their daughter so that they could share it with their family. I did this. The family members that received this photo then sent that to my employer and wanted me to get recognition for doing something nice for this young lady. The crime, I will tell you that there was a racial component in the nature of that crime, and that's how I'm going to leave that. But I find it interesting that people use this particular video or this particular news story to dox me and try to get me to hide from the public, when this is actually an example of me doing something very nice for a citizen on my own personal time with my own personal money, which is just something that's kind of funny. Now, the last thing that he says is, you didn't know this was going to come back and bite you in the future when you became a racist police officer. He's making this accusation against me with no information whatsoever, no evidence whatsoever. He's just throwing this term at me because that's what people do when they find a police officer and they think that they've doxed that police officer. Well, the interesting thing about me as a police officer is I also run a YouTube channel called Columbus Police Body Camera. And on that channel, believe it or not, I post a lot of videos from my own body camera. So there's a lot of examples out there of me, and it shows you exactly the type of police officer that I am. I want to kind of talk about some of those situations here in just a second. Before I get into like the body camera stuff, I do want to point out, because I know that this is something that comes up often. If you look at the screen here, I brought up the monetization pages for both of my YouTube channels. Columbus Police Body Camera channel is on the left, and then the Thoughts of a Patrol Officer page is on the right. If you look down here, I've clicked on the Earn section of my YouTube channels. If you look at the Columbus Police Body Camera channel, click Earn. It says that I can apply for the partnership program. That is the monetization program. What this means is that Columbus Police Body Camera as a YouTube channel is not monetized. It's not part of the partner program. I'm not making money off of those videos. On my Thoughts of a Patrol Officer page, where I express my opinion and I respond to things that are in the media and in the news, that page is monetized. I just want to make that crystal clear because there's a criticism, and a lot of people think that I'm showing my own body camera as a way to make money off duty by creating this YouTube channel, and that's actually not true. That's not the case. So what I did today is I brought up 3 of my favorite body camera interactions from my own body camera, and I want to put them on display here today. And I'll remind you, if you go to the channel, there's probably 60 or 70 examples of me on the body camera channel. And I guess what I ask you to do is go watch the videos that have me in them, and you can tell me whether or not you think I'm a racist police officer. You can tell me if you think I'm a good police officer or a bad police officer. If you think that I'm the type of police officer that you should be doxing and attacking and trying to get fired from his job. I'm not going to, I'll just let you make those decisions on your own. So like I said, I've got 3 videos that I have set aside that I just want to briefly talk about. And that'll be it for the video today. So the first one is, this is actually an incident that occurred in, I think it was in 2019. So once again, before I started the YouTube channel. This is an incident where I was dispatched to a call from a homeless woman who was pregnant and addicted to drugs that wanted to go to a rehab facility so that she could get herself better so she could take care of her soon to be born child. I went and picked her up at somewhere like 2, 3 in the morning. I can't quite remember. On the way to rehab, I felt bad for her and her situation. I wanted her to feel as much of a human as possible. So I asked if she was hungry, and then she and I shared a meal on the hood of my cruiser. I don't know, this is the type of police officer that I am. And for the people that watch That Dinesh Guy, if you're curious of who I am, this is a pretty good example of who I am, what I'm about, and what I'm like at work.
Because the one downtown won't accept me because I'm pregnant.
Which location do you have to go to?
The one on Jenkins and High Street.
Jenkins and High? Their staff there at night?
I called them at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Throw yourself in the back of my car. Are you hungry? You want to go get a burger on the way? Are you in a huge hurry to get in there, or you want to take an extra 10 minutes?
I'm fine taking an extra 10 minutes. I'm always hungry.
All right. I've been on...
Did you always want to be a cop?
No.
No?
You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, when I was getting ready to graduate high school, I thought that maybe I'd want to be a cop. So I pulled up next to an officer in my hometown, and I asked him some questions about like how to become a police officer and stuff.
Mm-mm.
And he told me his name was Officer Super.
Okay.
And he looked at me and he goes, you know what? He's like, you seem like you're a pretty smart kid. He goes, don't do this. It's like, don't do this with your life. It's like, go do something else. Yeah. He said he wouldn't wish it on anybody. So I went in the military. Then when I got out of the military, I got a degree in economics, and I worked as a financial advisor for like 5 years. And what's on these burgers? They don't have mayonnaise or anything.
No, it's just
Oh, okay.
cheese, pickles, and
Good.
onions.
I can handle that. But I had a bunch of clients who were police officers for Columbus, and they told me that I'd like the job, and so I took the test, and then I got hired.
Yeah.
So I left my job working at a bank to come do this at night. I've been doing it for 8 years now.
That is very crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have another example that I would like to show you. This is one of my, I don't know why, it's one of my favorite interactions that I've had at work, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but this is a call where I was dispatched to a call about a car accident. The person called in and said that a male driving his vehicle crashed into several parked cars and hit his head so hard that he passed out. When I arrived on scene, I found a male passed out behind the wheel of a car with airbags deployed, but it was explicitly clear to me that this was not that he had been knocked unconscious by the crash, that he was overdosing and was probably unconscious before the crash. So we treat him for his overdose, and then you'll see some footage that has never been seen before. This is the conversation that I had with him in his hospital room when I was taking care of the paperwork and stuff. I just want to ask that you listen to my conversation with this guy, listen to the nature of the conversation, listen to the way I talk to this man, and then think about the accusation made against me from that Dinesh guy, saying that, you know, this will probably come back to bite you in the future when you decided to become a racist police officer. Tell me if you think, if I am a racist police officer, would I be able to mask my racism to the extent that I could have conversations like this?
4, and I'll circulate to that 35. I'll be control code 1 victim.
Yeah, I think he's definitely overdosing.
Oh, 100%.
How much did he use? Don't lie to me. This isn't alcohol.
I swear on everything I know.
Girl, he's ODing. Why are you lying?
I swear.
Is this your boyfriend?
Yes.
You're gonna sit here and let him die because you're lying to us about what he took?
If I knew, I really...
No, you know goddamn well. You have a question or anything? Nope. You're gonna get a ticket. All right. You're gonna get a ticket for OVI, unfortunately. Just operating a vehicle impaired, and then fail to control, and you'll have a court date.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, that's really all I have to tell you. I have to go out to my car and fill out the paperwork, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
This isn't something I'm going to put in my report. It's not. I haven't read you your rights, so I'm just talking to you as a man. Did you do a line or something? What?
I did cocaine.
Okay. And it wasn't cocaine.
I don't know.
It wasn't. You know what I mean? Like you thought you were doing coke,
Mm-hmm.
and you're probably doing fentanyl. So that's been happening a lot lately.
Yeah, I don't do that shit.
Well, as funny as it might sound, it's probably a good thing that you wrecked your car, because if you would have gone home and passed out, you would have died. Like you were probably 5 minutes from death when I got there. Because as soon as I got there, you were still, your eyes were closed. It looked like you were asleep. You were still sitting up at the wheel. And I started rubbing your chest, trying to get you to wake up, and I was slapping you a little bit. And then next thing you know, your jaw drops open. Have you ever seen anybody overdose before? Their jaw drops open, and your eyes roll back in your head, and you started gasping for air. And then when the second car got there, I told him, hey, grab the Narcan. So we gave you a dose. And then you were still, like I was holding your arm, I could feel the pulse. I lost the pulse in your arm. And we had to go to your neck, and it was doing that thing where it's like super fast, tacky. That's what happens right before people die. So, and then when I was asking your girlfriend what you took, she was trying to stick up for you and say that you did nothing but alcohol. And I don't know if she was just trying to protect you.
Yeah, more than likely.
But, you know, that was a bad choice on her part. And I had some very not pleasant words for her. Because I know for a fact that you didn't just take alcohol, right?
Yeah, she's drunk too.
She is drunk. But I yelled at her. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
And I wanted her to understand that it's important to be honest in that situation. So we got you taken care of. It is what it is.
Are you going to charge her with anything?
No, she's not going to be charged. She was just sitting in the passenger seat of a car accident.
Yeah.
Do you have insurance?
No.
All right. I mean, you're gonna have to deal with all that.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
it is what it is. For my part, I'm just gonna take care of the ticket and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay.
In the meantime, because I'm the only officer here, I'm gonna have to handcuff you to the bed so you don't leave. You're cool with that?
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know how it is. What are you on parole for?
I'm on probation.
Probation?
I had a burglary charge.
Okay. That can be alright.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, ask me anything you want.
Why are you handcuffed me to the bed?
Because people lie to me sometimes, and technically right now you're under arrest. You're not going to jail, but when I hand you that ticket, I'm going to take the cuff off.
Okay.
But I have to walk out to my car. I got probably 10 minutes worth of paperwork to fill out. I got one of the forms is kind of long. It's a pain in the ass. I fill that out, and then I have to handwrite your ticket, and I'll bring it back in. I'll tell you what your court dates and everything are. Make sure you understand, and then I'll take the cuff off, and I'm going to go home. Well, I'm going to go back to work.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So, all right, man. So you just try to chill out. I'll be back in a little bit.
I appreciate you, officer.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry if this happened.
You know, you don't have to apologize to me. You got some other folks that are kind of mad at you.
Yeah, I do.
You hit probably 4 or 5 cars. A couple of them you hit pretty good. So, and I almost got in a fight with the people that own those cars too, because they were trying to get to you, and I'm like, bro, you need to back up. Like, we got more important things to do right now.
I'll definitely make that right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just hang tight. I'll be back in a couple.
And then the third video that I pulled up for you just shows one of my favorite people that I interact with at work. This is a man named Rodney. Rodney struggles with substance abuse, alcohol, and methamphetamine, as well as crack. He doesn't use fentanyl or heroin to my knowledge, but he also has multiple mental health issues. He has, like, I believe he has schizophrenia, some bipolar, some anxiety issues. He's been dealing with these issues for a very long time, because during one conversation I had with him in the past, he told me he actually competed in the Special Olympics. So now, as an adult with this underlying mental health diagnoses, he's out using meth, and it's got him on the street. And there's the first video that you're going to see of me and him is when I responded to a call of domestic violence. A non-involved party was driving by. They said that they saw a male black beating on a female white in a wheelchair. I responded to that run. What you'll see is the conversation that I had with Rodney after we got things sorted out and figured out there was actually no domestic violence and no assault that had occurred. And then I'm going to jump to another scene where I just happened to be driving down the road one day, and I saw Rodney standing on the side of the road. He looked clear-eyed, well-dressed, and sober, and I couldn't believe it. I had to pull over and talk to him for myself. Listen to these conversations, and you can tell me whether or not the things that Dinesh guy are true. Or do you think that, well, maybe they are true and I'm just hiding it really good, or maybe he was just making an ignorant statement about me without knowing anything about me? You can make that decision for yourself.
Well, right now, I just want you to hear me for a moment, okay?
I clean this up, man.
What I really want you to do is follow up with that case manager.
Who?
You said you have one, but listen, just because they can get you into an apartment.
I don't want you to room, like.
You don't have to do that.
I want to with my woman. I know I can do it. I just gotta get with you.
But I've seen people like you get help and get places and get established, man, and their lives get turned around. Is Sarah still staying with you?
I have not seen that girl, man, for almost 2 weeks, sir. Have you seen her?
I have not. I haven't seen either one of you guys.
I haven't seen her, man. I've been getting my life right, man, instead of running the streets.
That's what you gotta do, man. We had a long talk last time I talked to you about that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel so good.
Officer Zinger? What's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you came back and gave me the water.
I did.
I do. Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I went to jail and got my life together ever since then. I did 50 days in jail. I'm glad I did to get clean. And they let me out on my own recognizance. My lawyer said it's a weak case.
Okay.
But I told him, I'm kind of thank y'all for letting me. I needed some time off the streets.
Yeah. That's wild, though.
Yes.
Well, there you go, guys. That is about as clear of a picture as you're going to ever get of me at work, how I do my job, and the type of person I am behind the badge or when I'm wearing my badge. It's kind of funny to me that people that don't know anything about me or about any other police officer for that matter, as soon as they find out that they're a police officer, they instantly lash out with these allegations that you're a racist, you're a fascist, and you're a woman beater, and all these other things. They will say that they support the police, they just don't support bad police, and they want accountability for the police. But what they are actually doing is they're attacking all police in a pretty ignorant manner, if you ask me. So I don't want this video to go on for too long. I just had some things that I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.